I'm going to tell you something, and it's that I like the other paste I was using more. I bought 2 different ones and this one dries very quickly. I guess it works well for someone who knows a lot and goes straight to the point. But since I'm a bit slower, it's a bit of a hassle for me. Do you see what I'm talking about? It takes no time. I just saw it right now and it's already drying in some areas. Brr. Oh wow, I'm so slow. I started over there and now I'm only here, still finishing up inside, so everything will be... What a racket. I put on Christmas music and oh my goodness. I'm working on this part here, I mean on the inside and all along the edge too, and that makes me go much slower. Simply working on the outside isn't the same as also handling all the small edges. So, well, little by little, but we're making progress. It's crazy because this is the second can I've used for the grouting. Whether it's inside, outside, the corner, the joint, the trim, of course it gets used up. It won't last me. It cost me 10 euros, incredibly cool, look, to store blankets and things for the sofa here. Oh, I love it, it's so cute. Hey, you're cutting off my head. It's for sitting on, but I'll use it, well, for sitting on, for putting a few things on it while you're on the sofa, to use it as a table too. I won't leave it like this, I'll cover it properly. When I got it, I cleaned it, but I need to treat it for woodworm since it might have some, and I don't want it spreading to my other furniture. Oh, my back! And that's it, and inside it's pretty good. The only thing is that the fabric is a little bit there, it's a little bit lifted. Maybe I'll take this off, cover it, and put it back on. Keep working on the baseboard. Let's try to finish the second coat. Empty, not even what I had in mind. I'm missing this piece and I would have had it done, but I don't have a drop left. I'm scraping what's left, but no, we can't continue. Do I feel bad? Honestly, no. I just really wanted to finish that damn jar. It was something that had to be done, so now it's done. Ideally, I should continue with the ditching, with the structure of the television. But between telling Ivan that I would wait for him and buying myself a new little machine, a tool to put in the screws more easily, because it's pretty hard for me with the drill. That machine arrives tomorrow. Let's see how it works, and when it gets here, we'll try it out and then wait for Ivan, but using that machine. Look how wonderful. Look how this is turning out, huh? Wow, when the lighting is installed inside the drawer, it's gonna look amazing. Look from this angle. Oh wow, 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 how wonderful, how wonderful, how wonderful. And here they have some things, so let's snoop around and see what's here. Since it's Black Friday, there are actually some things on sale, but I don't know if they're the ones I'm interested in. I really like this sofa. The Sherpa fabric is lovely, I love it, but of course it also looks very wintry, so I don't know how it would look. Besides, I would like it to be a sofa bed, just in case someone needs to stay over. Then, I love these little baskets. These are a bit expensive, but I like this one even more. And as for the tables, which they have over here, there's a variety. But I would like it to be all wood colored, without any white. And there are many that are a combination of white and wood, wooden legs, and the top part is white. Today they're coming to install the 2 windows. I'm clearing space in this room for the installation and have arranged the bed like this. And I remember that the last time I came, I already mentioned that I liked it, maybe more like this. The bed and a small wardrobe here. I really like this layout, and you can access the blinds better. You're like this and you can raise them more easily. It lowers automatically. This might be a good choice. There are several things to sand because, for example, I also want to sand this dining table. White underneath and wood on top. But that white was painted on, and I think it will look prettier all in wood color. Besides, it's good solid wood. I found that table in the dumpster, and then when I looked up how much those kinds of tables cost, in Bali we also found several like that, and they were about 300 or 400 euros when I checked online. Well, it depends on the store obviously, but they were super expensive. When I saw it in the trash, I thought, this has to be mine. Well, I have two pieces of news, one good and one bad. The good one is I already have new windows. Wow, look at this. How wonderful, how beautiful they are. Well, they're normal, white, just regular, but they make the room look completely different. Those ones, since they had a wooden frame and well, we painted them, but it was half painted, half not, the wood was falling apart in pieces. It feels like more light comes in, but maybe it's just my imagination. And I won't even start on the cold because with the other ones, all the cold would come in and it would get really chilly at certain times. And even more with this one. This room has changed drastically with the new small window and it already looks completely different. Also, the cold I mentioned before is no longer a problem. These have an air chamber and double glazing, so the cold that came in with the wooden one doesn't anymore. You might notice there's even an echo. I think before, even with the window closed, you could feel a slight draft. Some air would come in and some would escape too. Previously you couldn't hear the echo, but now you can, even with some furniture in the room. However, it's still a bit empty with some things missing. And also the same thing, I'm super happy with this window, so much light comes in. I don't know, it just feels different now, I'm really happy. And now comes the bad part, I was smoothing this wall well, sanding it and everything. I've already sanded all the molding, it turned out really well, but you know I still need to do the second coat, that part over there. And what's the bad news? Well, tada, here it is. I'm going to turn on the light so you can see it better. Let's do things right. There we go. Now you can see such a mess. It turns out that I started sanding and I saw a tiny crack appear. So I ended up pulling it off myself. I grabbed a spatula and started scraping, tap, 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 and it went all the way over there. Subscribe. I was considering putting a fireplace here. I really thought about the option of adding a fireplace. I ruled that out quickly because I'm afraid of burning down my apartment. If they could burn it with a hookah, imagine what a fireplace could do. It would go up in flames, seriously. That one was already ruled out, but I really like the bioethanol fireplace. We almost installed a bioethanol fireplace at home, but ultimately decided not to. Why? Well, basically, the bioethanol fireplace fascinates me because the fire is real, it's not fake, but of course you always have to have the liquid to pour in. That's fine if it's in your house, guests are coming over and all, and you say, well, you just pour it in quickly and that's it, right? For a rental apartment, I thought leaving it here and letting them leave it on should be fine, since it's designed for that. You feel uneasy, right? I just couldn't fully trust leaving with the fireplace on. But that wasn't the main reason, although it was one of the reasons. The main reason was because of the heat. And since there isn't a single radiator in the whole house, in the entire apartment, and I decided not to install water pipes because otherwise I would have had to redo all the walls and it would have been a huge job, I said, well, I'll just use electric ones. So electric radiators and an electric fireplace more or less use the same amount of energy. And I thought, well, why have an ugly radiator hanging there plugged in? I have a nice fireplace that gives off a cool light and doesn't use any energy. If I'm cold, I turn on the heating, so it's really a radiator substitute. That's why I chose an electric one. However, I love the bioethanol type, and if I install one at home, it'll likely be bioethanol.
Oh, everything looks great. Oh, the torture is already done. How cool is this?
What do you think?
It looks so cool.
It looks amazing.
I never thought it would end up like this, you know?
Come on, I can't believe it. It's gorgeous, right? The recessed part on top in the end, right? So let's say instead of setting everything at 30...
Very well finished, huh? The recessed part?
Well, yes, why deny it?
The stove there and all, it will look...
Yes, we've already tried the stove. It looks super cool, really amazing. But the thing is, I couldn't set it up, let's say, by itself to show it. It's gorgeous.
I think in the end we'll light it up, huh?
Ha ha ha. Oh, now I'm going to help you.
He's handsome, isn't he?
Well...
Oh my, all by yourself, huh, equals?
No, I did this with Ivan.
Oh, with Ivan. It looks so cool, doesn't it? All fitted in there,
It looks really nice.
Oh my gosh, right? What a mess of guides.
Well, not so much. When you see the fireplace, whew, but no, when you see the fireplace, all your plans are going to change.
Wow.
How does it look?
Oh my goodness. Can I let go?
Yes, you can let it go.
What a beautiful thing.
Wait, let me put the heat on.
No, you can tell, you can tell, you can tell.
Really? It's just that it turns on automatically, yes.
Wow, that's amazing. How cool is that, huh? Wow, can we set up something like this at home in the dining room?
Where are we going to start? My dad, the electrical stuff, because we're going to change all the outlets and switches and make them look nice. But besides looking nice, they'll be functional too. Because we have this thing here that they call Mickey Mouse, and it's because you can plug things in here, and you also have this part here, which is for the USB. For example, if you're going to charge your phone, or in my case, charge the microphones, we'll keep going along this wall with the little hole we saw recently. I can't even remember what day it was. We have to cover it up, and then we're going to continue with the ceiling here at the entrance. This Aquaplast is super restorative, and it's perfect for making repairs like this because we can make it as thick as we need. And for cracks or if the wall chips off or things like that, it's just perfect. This weekend it's all about drywall, huh? It's just that this whole part of the hallway has the channel installed here, and over there is where the new ceiling starts. We didn't have time, so for summer we only covered it here. Now we have to cover everything. I've put all the guides on the floor and only have this one left. Everything else already has its guide. This one's done, so just this one remains. And look how wonderful how the new outlets look. We can plug it in here, and then I have this one, which I use to charge the mics because it has double USB, let's say. Clip one to your lapel, plug the other into the camera, and now you can also charge something else here. And let's continue, well, making the little holes. And my mom, well, with the bottom part of the beam.
It's just this little piece, right?
On this side, yes, exactly, yes. Let's see if we have light.
Wait, I'm going to turn on the power.
Ah, okay, and now I'm going to screw it in. Ole! There you go. Here, we'll put a cute little mirror so you can take a walk and look at yourself in your mirror.
Here, well now we're checking that there's power and all that.
Now we just need to finish the ceiling, which is taking longer than a day without bread. The beam is finished. We had to add a couple of little profiles to make the corner perfect because it was really hard to do it without a corner piece. So we put in a corner piece. The plasterboard structure, which I'm still finishing, and well, I did that. I added, let's say, so that it's also attached to the ceiling. I'm almost done with this. There's very little left. One over there got loose, so I need to make a new hole. I'm missing the pre-cut spaces and just need to screw them in. The missing light bulbs are already installed. And now my dad is busy with the bedroom over there. The small room is still there, right? Is it finished too? But there's no light, right? Well, then there's no light. The package just arrived. We could call it a gun that you attach to the drill and then it puts in the screws. Let me see how it's set up and then I'll tell you, because if not, I tried it on wood and it works well on wood. It works pretty well, honestly. Because wood isn't a very hard material, so it's easy to screw into. I mainly wanted it for drywall and the metal structure, since I find it hard to screw into. So I thought maybe with that it would be easier, I could apply more force and do it better. And I'm afraid not. For what I wanted it for, I don't think I'll use it. For more help, we have...
Hello!
Ivan is here, so our whole team is ready to continue. So he recommended that I put in double thermal insulation, so I bought more meters than I needed to make it double and put it right here and then put the drywall on top. Not just because of the television, which I already said wasn't a big concern since the hot air from the chimney comes out the front, so there was no problem, but mainly because of the covering I was going to put on later. Since it's made of wood, the best thing to do to protect it was to put in thermal insulation, because drywall, even if I had chosen the fire-resistant one, the red one, he told me that it heats up just the same as any other type of drywall. The only difference is that it doesn't catch fire, it doesn't ignite, so it didn't matter if I used the fire-resistant one. The most important thing was to put in the insulation, and that's why we're going to install this here. Yesterday I bought on Amazon, well, it arrived today, the structure for the television, let's say. I mean the arm. I'll check this now, but I just wanted to see if it was thick enough. It's perfect. Yes, you can pull it to one side to the other. Great. Perfect, that's it. I'm going to make this part here double, because since the television will go here, let's say the little heat that might come out of the fireplace could affect the television here, so we're going to put double insulation protection here. Everywhere else, we'll just put one layer. Later I'll explain how this little machine is working for us. Ivan says it's going well. Well, it's not bad, you just have to get the hang of it. It has its little trick to make it work well. But anyway, we'll give a more general review later. Now I'm organizing the panels to make as few connections as possible. So I think we're going to cut here. These like this, we screw them in, we make an addition here and we place the top one whole. And for the sides, we'll also make a cut from scraps. We'll use the scraps. Although I still have quite a bit of drywall left, but well, I also need some for the entrance, I'm thinking. Here we're going to make a little hole, because the television is going to be plugged in here. So we're going to run the antenna cable through here. This doesn't have power, does it? Oh, wow. We're working on the joints, the chimney, and well, the whole structure, because it's going to be covered. If we weren't going to cover it, then the pieces would have to be as whole as possible. These are finishing touches that might look bad. Music, music, music.
Ideally, it would be best to do it with a couple of whole boards, but since we don't have a van yet, which we really need, we've had to bring the drywall in the car in pieces. So since it's going to be covered with wood, like Christina says, well, we can make do.
Just put the pieces together. It's not a big deal. The idea was to use one of the whole panels for the top part, but we're going to rule that out because we're going to use the whole panel for the entrance. Because I already told you, well, you saw it in the last episode, that there isn't one at the entrance on the ceiling of the entrance hallway, so I need a whole panel. And of course, I have to get another van to take several things with me. I can't be renting a van every weekend. Well, I could, but of course it's a lot of money, because I think each van costs about 40 euros. If I go each day and we have to carry loads daily, it's a whole process. We can't use the entire panel, so we'll need joints. That's fine, but it'll slow us down. But like I said, since the whole chimney is going to be covered, all these joints you see now won't be visible. You see it coming together, right? It is... I'm so excited, so excited, so excited. Look, with a little perspective, this living room is just totally luxurious, huh? Totally luxurious. How is it turning out?
All together.
Very good.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Oh, you really don't feel like it? I'll find other workers. Haha, that's great. Woo.
For what you pay, you get good workers.
My father says we've got this. We'll see, we'll see. I mean, this will come through here. It's not hooked up yet.
Man.
Ta-da!
Just a moment. Woo!
How cute, how beautiful.
Oh, it lights up, huh? Quite a bit?
Oh, it looks beautiful. The best part is that you can turn it on and off from the kitchen itself. From that outlet, you'll be able to turn it on and off.
It was hard for me, but yes.
Ha ha ha.
Isn't our chief electrician great?
Ha ha ha. Chief of Electricity.
The electrician's team part approved.
Ha ha ha. To prove that we're building the structure correctly, while we finish putting up the 4 pieces of drywall we have left, my dad is going to start setting up the television and, well, we can almost even use the same holes. Oh, can't we? Oh well. He's going to set it up and we'll finish up. We just have the top one left and a few pieces on the sides and then we'll be done. It'll look great once the television is set up. If you push it back, how close does it get to the wall? Let's move the hole up.
So that this goes up. This has to go down.
This has to go down.
That has to go down a hole.
Second attempt at placing the TV. Third attempt at placement.
This is tiring, huh, right?
Third time's the charm, man.
Ivan has named this chimney the Frankenstein chimney, and no name could fit it better. If you look closely, it's made out of pieces. One piece here, another piece there, another piece over here. But don't worry, because it's not going to stay like this. It's going to look much better. This little machine I bought, well, it works well. I have to say it works well. Maybe I expected it to be better. I have to say it because I had seen some videos of people installing drywall and they go bam, 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 and I thought it was going to be like that. It's not exactly like that, but... See? This one, for example, is resisting a little. There are some, I don't know why, that are harder than others. Some you go super fast and others take you more time. But what's the big advantage? Since all the screws are already in place, you don't need to stop to grab one or use the drill each time. You just go bam, 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 bam. It's crooked.
Oh my God.
Like I said, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, haha. Sometimes things go better, sometimes worse.
Now.
And here I'm going to place a corner piece, one of those we put on the ceiling. You have to cut it, I put it here, I put it here. Now we cover it. We already have the part of the structure that we had to put in with the plaster paste, which would be all the corners. We've got everything covered and applied the second coat, including the area that was missing. And with that, we could move on next weekend to put the covering here. Over here, over there, Papa. The dining room ended up like this. How wonderful. You can already see it coming together. What I thought I would do is paint the doors. We're going to prime them and then paint them. To fill the big holes in the door, what I'm going to use is this Aquaplast, which is a wood repairer and is for rebuilding, repairing and filling all kinds of materials. You mix it and then we can fix surfaces. And since we have this huge hole here, but it's not just this one, there are even more over here. These were already painted, but I reapplied the anti-woodworm treatment after discovering more woodworm. I've now applied the treatment, will fill the small holes, and then cover them completely with paint. The strange thing is that it hasn't spread to any furniture or anything else, it's only stayed here on these two doors. Since the putty we applied to the doors wasn't dry yet, I thought, well, I'll finish off the molding and the inside. Well, from down here you can't see it, but I don't want someone to come up here to clean and see holes, so I'm just finishing it off on top. If you notice, well, you can't really compare it because you don't know how it looked before. But over here, this one isn't done, so take a look. This part is unfinished and this part here is finished. And look, what a wonderful little window. I was so looking forward to having the shutter installed. Since quite a bit of time has passed, this had already dried, but I went ahead and gave it a second coat because I prefer for it to stick out a little rather than be too far in. If it's too far in, the marks will still show. So, I have this one. And honestly, I'm glad I finally decided to paint them because I almost had to rebuild the doors. For example, this is the bathroom door. I had already primed it, but I had to touch it up a bit. You can't really see it well there. So I gave it another coat, and of course it stands out more against the white. This one here is the same. I don't know if the woodworm has come back again, or if the primer just seeped into the little holes and that's why it looked like that, I'm not sure, but just in case, I've already applied woodworm treatment to everything. I went to the pharmacy to buy a few things, and while I was there, I bought something really practical that I'm going to show you. This right here. It's a magnet that you put on the door so that when you close it, it stays attached. The thing is, these doors would open, this one here and that one there, and now when you close them, they stay completely shut. You need some pressure to open it. But the very first thing is to sand. We have to sand everything so it's really smooth and nothing shows at all. But this putty sands really well. Honestly, with an electric sander, this takes just a moment, but by hand it's much slower. But it's okay, it's not a big deal, there's not that much to do anyway. Honestly, I spent most of yesterday working on the bathroom door, especially the area around it. And this one really needed a lot of thickness. I don't know if I showed you, but all of this was hollow. It had sunk in slightly, leaving a small uneven area. So I gave it one last coat. What's next? Cleaning the doors? Let's get a cloth with some water and get to it. Okay, so now we have all the doors. Well, not all of them. The bathroom door, the double bedroom door, the 2 small bed doors, and the master bedroom door. You just have to look at the color the water has turned, just with 2 doors on one side, right? And it was white. Well, not white, transparent, you know, the color of water, it was clean, that's it. I'm going to wipe it now with a little bit of vinegar, although it wouldn't really be necessary because that one hasn't been painted yet. These 2 already have a coat of primer, and well, it doesn't hurt to give them another wipe. It can't hurt. Vinegar is used for possible silicone residue on doors that are already painted, usually doors that are lacquered. Not from the factory, but just as a precaution, we're going to use it. I've become pretty strict about cleaning because I've had several problems with paint or putty not sticking well, not holding properly and things like that, just because it was dirty. The surface, whether it's the door, the wall or whatever, wasn't free of dust, and then it doesn't adhere properly. And these kinds of things happen because the surface, whether it's the door, the wall or whatever, wasn't clean from dust, and then it doesn't adhere well. And this has happened to me with some things, so now I keep it very much in mind. I'm going to raise them up a little so I can paint them properly. I'm using this Duracolor primer. It's a water-based, anti-rust, multi-adhesive primer suitable for aluminum, copper, ceramic, polyvinyl chloride iron, and most materials. Now, when Ivan and my parents come, we're gonna sand the ceiling, so ideally this should have been done afterwards, after sanding it. We've sanded the ceiling countless times and worked hard on it, but when I tried the indirect lighting, the ceiling looked awful, so ugly. So I said, this can't be. We have to sand it, and since this paint is totally washable, we'll just clean it afterwards. Not only will we have to clean the doors, but also the kitchen. Well, you know how messy it gets when you sand, especially the whole ceiling. I'm going to use this one here, which is the one I've used before. I went to buy it yesterday at the hardware store. I would have liked it to be the microfiber one or the Velurex one, but they didn't have them, and this was the one that looked the most similar. This one is for synthetic enamel finishes, but it still works really well because I've used it before, so let's get to it. What I do is spread the paint out as much as possible so that it's really thin. It's better to apply a super thin coat and then a second one, rather than making the paint too thick and having it not stick well, or having it chip off sooner. Notice I've raised them slightly off the floor, so I can reach the end of the door without hitting the floor. This happens to me a lot, and today I didn't want it to happen. Yesterday, since I was already covering the little holes and everything, I went ahead and sanded these doors to open up the pores a bit, since they'd already been painted before. Well, they only have the primer, but just to open up the pores a little, that's all. I sanded it, and with the vinegar we used as well, it's perfect. Honestly, right now it looks like the doors are lacquered. That's amazing. It looks really good. Honestly, I love painting because it's a job where you can really see the results. It's not for nothing. You look at it and think, wow, it turned out great. Unlike sanding, where you work hard with little visible result, painting instantly makes a spectacular difference. It's time to turn it over. They dried in no time because the weather is so nice. Honestly, it's a pleasure to paint when the weather is good. Oh, it's wonderful. One day when we started renovating this apartment, I wanted the doors to be natural wood color. So when I sanded them, I loved the color and thought, oh perfect, this is going to be great, I'll sand all of them. I started sanding and everything was going great. I got to the ones in the back. Let's say I sanded the ones in the dining room first and then moved toward the back. And when I got to the ones in the back, I started sanding and woodworm came out everywhere. Holes completely destroyed. I took the lock off one and it left that big hole. So of course I couldn't leave them as natural wood because basically I had to do a lot of filling and patching. Well, you would see a door full of patches, let's say, trying to cover up several things that were wrong with the door. So in the end I had to paint them. I'm also taking the opportunity to paint the frames since I'm at it, and that way I'll have it all ready, because I'm probably going to leave the frames white. With the little baseboard I bought in white. And well, let's move on to the most exciting moment, which is painting with the actual paint. I'm going to show you the color I've chosen. Ta-da, pa-ra-ra-ra-ra-ra-ra. Ta-da! At first glance, it might not remind you of anything, but if we take the camera and move over, you can see that it's the same color as the kitchen. Here it shines a bit more because it's wet, of course, it's not dry yet. And look how it turns out. The exact same color as the kitchen. Right now they're primed in white and honestly they're pretty. I like them. But as you know, I wanted to give this apartment a bit of personality. Do different things, take a few risks. And I think that by leaving them white, well, there's not much risk. At my house, I painted them white and I do like how it looks. It gives brightness, but I don't know, after a few years, I find them a bit plain. That's why I chose the same color as the kitchen, and I'll probably paint one of the cabinets that color too. The truth is, I love this color for furniture, for all kinds of things. I'm just fascinated by it. I don't want it to drip, but look how beautiful this shade looks mixed with the wood, the combination of both tones. It just looks so cool. We're going to do exactly the same as with the primer. We're going to spread it as much as possible. Honestly, I love it, you know? The way the color is turning out, I didn't think I was going to like it this much, but I really love it. I like it a lot. Let's see how they look when they're installed, because usually you don't see, or at least I don't usually see, doors in apartments or houses that aren't either colored white or wood. In that sense, I think it's hard to find. It's true that, for example, at a friend's house, she has them in beige, and that's also a really good option, a color like beige, so that, well, dirt and things like that are less noticeable. This color is less common maybe, but I love it for the door, you know? I really like it. I admit I was a little nervous because it's risky to paint them in a color like this, but I think it's going to be a total success. Now that I'm seeing it, I'm really loving it. Wait, maybe I'll paint the ones at my house too. Let's go for the third door, which isn't that one. Let's say that one has already changed. That one is still finishing drying. It'll take us a little longer because I painted these before lunch, but that one was after, so I told you I was using the same roller, but I actually changed it for a new one. Even after washing it well, some white drops kept coming off and it made me mad, so I said, forget it. I'm not going to risk the doors not turning out perfect. They have to look great. Wow, look at how these doors turned out. I love it. Let's see if I can catch it a little bit against the light. I really love the color. It's quite a radical change, huh? But I love it. I just adore it. Time to turn it around. Oh, my door is turning out so pretty. This one already has the handle on the other side. Even though some areas are coming out a bit lighter, I prefer it that way. I mean, it's better to give it 2 coats and cover up those little light spots from the first coat than to overload it with paint, because it probably won't last as long. On the Decorate Yourself channel, I did an interview with a technician from Duracolor and she explained it to me. She told me that it's best to spread the paint as much as possible, and if it's necessary to apply 3 coats because it hasn't covered well, then we apply 3 coats. But the paint should be spread out really well. So I put some paint on the roller, spread it really well everywhere, and I don't reload the roller again until I see that it's been spread out properly. Notice that by wetting it just once, I've already covered almost half of the door. My parents are about to arrive. It's getting dark. It's amazing because it gets dark so quickly. It's not even 5 in the afternoon, I think, but it's incredible. Hey, this bathroom door looks great now. You can't even tell there used to be one of those big handles here. Well, they were on all the doors, you know, those big handles. And the holes really stood out. I don't know, it was left very marked and noticeable. And when we covered them up yesterday, we made sure it was well covered and completely smooth. And today, after sanding it, it turned out really great. Look how smooth it is, the whole door, completely smooth. You can probably see it better like this from the side. Look how beautiful it is. It's turning out amazing. It's gotten a bit late, but I still have time to remove this here, which is kind of like a trim piece, but it's really outdated. I'll take it off, and that way tomorrow I can sand the rest of the wardrobe properly. Ivan is going to paint this to give it the second coat, well, the final one, so we can put the trim pieces on afterward. My parents will finish the ceiling, which I left unfinished after building the structure. The plasterboard still needs installing. So my dad is over there finishing cutting the big panel, the only large one left, and my mom is going to help him. And on my end, I'm over here, coming along in the dim light. I have to give the doors a second coat, since they've only had one so far. I've bought, let's say, some panels that are going to cover everything like this, very nice, and that's it. So when they arrive, we'll install them. Since it arrives tomorrow, we must finish this today to focus on it then. I'm going to give the door a little sanding, just a quick pass with a 320 grit sandpaper. And now we'll apply the second coat. With the second coat, this is something else, huh? It's looking really cool. Look at how the little doors turned out. They look spectacular. One thing out of the way.
4 left. You wouldn't believe how many pins there were.
No one gets in here, huh? I'm going to start by covering all these little holes from woodworm. And I don't have chalk paint, let's say, but I will bring it from home or buy it around here, if there is any, which I don't know. So we'll cover this up as much as possible, but then we'll leave this area white, since some areas are sanded and others aren't. I think the worst area was this one. The rest is pretty good in terms of woodworm. Ivan decided to use paint stripper to remove it, so it'll go faster, right?
Yeah, let's see if it works well and everything comes off better.
Normally, with that much thickness, you have to apply 2 coats. But well, it's the same here. There's a lot to cover. Look at how the door looks now with the paint off. Well, it looks completely different. It looks really cool. It would have looked great in natural wood, but the bottom is more like sheet metal.
I think that area is damp or something, so they put metal sheets on it.
I'm not sure, but you can see it already looks different. Oh my, how beautiful. Ooh. I'm going to give the doors a third and final coat, and they look good with 2 coats, but I prefer to give them one last one, just to make them perfect. Look, Mom, the door looks great, almost lacquered. Feel it now that it's dry. Just check your hand isn't dirty.
Now that it's dry.
Oh wait, your hand isn't dirty, is it?
Perfect.
It looks really good. A third coat? Just to finish unifying, because the doors, when left their natural color, are very porous. This paint is good though, right? Yes, but these doors are very porous since they're natural wood. Just a quick coat, right? I'm spreading the paint really well.
Do you guys need the small ladder?
I have it in the room. How are you?
Good.
How is it turning out?
The part down here?
This is already starting to look painted. It's hard with just one coat because it was very dark.
Yeah, well, but it covers pretty well, that's why.
Yeah, right?
I think with the second coat it'll look good.
3 coats, maybe 3, yeah. Ivan wants to make a little invention with a crayon he found. Let's see how it turns out. Does it look straight? Yes, it's a vacuum cleaner. Yes, it's a vacuum cleaner. We're not sure. Ivan's idea is to put moldings on the entrance door. Well, a small molding, let's say a trim.
Doors in front. The lock keeps getting stuck.
We'll leave that small piece there and another one on the other side, same way.
Another one, same here, another one here and here. Whatever design you want, I'm going to put a wide one at the bottom and one here, but whatever I want.
These are the closet doors that I left outside so they could dry. The putty that we applied earlier, we're going to sand it a little bit, just like we did before. We'll paint both the inside and outside. These are for the master bedroom. These will be painted white and the others will be painted with chalk paint. Why with milk paint? Are we leaving these in natural wood? There's still a lot of sanding left. Look at how it is underneath. So we're going to paint these completely. First primer and then paint. We put it like this here.
And we add a bit of color. Subscribe.
We removed all of this from the door, which was like a kind of sheet metal that was attached, and now it's going to be replaced with the new one. Fuyola has holes at the bottom, but it's fine since the Fuyola covers them. This part stays there, another goes on the side, and there's a small piece of Fuyola at the top. Do you see the little hole I told you about? Subscribe, and this is how it looks. This door just needs the handle installed so it can be opened and closed, and we're already working on the final details. For today, my mother finishing painting that door that's left. I've already given the third coat to those doors over there, and now I'm cleaning up. I have to take all of this down to throw it in the trash, and I'm already putting everything in its place to try to make sure everything is nice and tidy. This is the only thing left for this door, right here. This already has the second coat, the closet already has the second coat, the whole frame, and the other one too, this one here as well. So this is all done. The doors, as I was saying, will be white on the back, and on the other side they'll have chalk paint. But since I don't have it, we have to wait, and this, well, we'll give it a third coat and that's it. Thank you for watching. Ivan is applying acrylic putty to finish off the whole corner, and then, well, we'll move on to painting. Wow, how do these doors look? Look how it matches with the kitchen. Oh my, it looks so beautiful, spectacular. Well, once the trim is installed, it'll look even cooler. I have to show it to you from this perspective so you can see how it all goes together with the kitchen. Even though the table is still in the middle, with the electric saw, our cut is getting a little crooked, so we're going to try with the hand saw.
Subscribe. Thanks for watching the video. Subscribe.
Because now modern doors are made like this. Without a miter, it would look like this, and you can see the little line on the side. So we'll leave it like that. It's perfect. Hey, no need for the miter.
subscribe. Ivan.
His whole face is covered with this. Look, it looks kind of weird. And you, Mom, turn around. The monkey's bare butt. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for watching the video.
How awful. I'm the least affected because I was by the doors, but look at these guys. I'm going to start cleaning the whole ceiling, which is full of dust inside the pit. My father, what was he going to do? Plasterboard paste? My mother is going to give the doors a second coat of paint, thanks to seeing him. The closet ones are already done. And Ivan is going to give the entrance door the first coat of primer. And that's it. Everyone to their own tasks. This is something else now. How beautiful, how beautiful. Let's close everything up and see how it looks. This is something else now. This is really something else.
Thank you, video. Thank you for watching the...
Thank you. Now talking to my mom. Just changing some doors or their color, like that one, makes a big difference. It's just that when you look over there, it feels like you're entering a completely different apartment. And these doors here, it's the same thing. It doesn't even look like the same place. It's amazing. It's where you notice it the most. There are little things you can see. The change is dramatic, and this is one of them. Yes, the front door is gorgeous and beautiful. It seems a bit too dark, but it's amazing how much it's changed. Well, it's not painted white, although I have to say I really like how it's turning out. It wasn't white before. Do you really want to paint it like this one? I plan to match those colors, but it looks great in white. Wow, it's going to be hard to decide now. My father is sanding what he put on yesterday with drywall putty. Ivan and I are going to finish installing the trim that I put up yesterday, these here, but I ran out of the glue that we went to buy at the Mascola hardware store. We have everything here now. This one here is the one we'll use to glue the trim. We also got acrylic putty, shown here to fill small holes. And especially, for example, this area you see here, this little hole. We'll apply a bit of acrylic putty and dab it to finish. We just need to glue these on the other side. I already glued 2 there, but still need to custom fit the top one, so we'll do that and another on the other side. What about the one in the back room? Yes, they're cut, but still need gluing. And my mother, when she gets here, she's still out there somewhere, I guess, trying on things from the market. When my mother comes, well, what does my mother do? We'll see as we go. That one with the baseboard gave me a really hard time. I just couldn't get it in. I adjusted it in 4 pieces and chipped at the wall, but it's done now. Look at this scene with half a little tree, that bamboo thing, the table, the little door painted with its baseboards. Well, 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 it's wonderful. This room is also going to look super cool when it's finished. Installing the handles properly this time, because before they didn't have a latch, let's say, and now they will, well, not a latch exactly, the bolt, yes. Look how cool it is with the handle. The one next to it is missing, but wow, it looks incredible and nearly finished. There's almost nothing left to do. The problem is, since I painted, it got thicker. The room isn't ready to be shown. Here it is in its natural state. This part needed sanding, so some of the primer came off. I'll need to add more primer, but now it closes perfectly. With the paint it wouldn't close, but now it opens and closes just fine. My mom leaned on it, and in the end we managed to close it. Notice that it only has the coat of primer. It's amazing. It gives a lot more light to the bedroom now. That's why in the end I decided to paint the doors, the closet, white, because since everything else is already pretty busy, I wanted the closet not to draw too much attention. I think it's going to look great. It still needs a coat of white paint, but it already looks nice. Ivan already has this door looking super mega pretty and super Japandi.
I wanted natural wood, but it still looks good like this.
Yeah, it was almost impossible, but
With the primer applied, it only needs paint.
yeah, it still needs to be painted, but look at how the front door already looks next to the kitchen. Well, 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 well. And when the piece of ceiling at the entrance is painted, this was already done the other day. I don't know if I recorded it, but it's already finished. And on the other hand, my dad is putting on the last handle, because the one for the bathroom is already done too. Oh, it really looks finished. Look, the trims too. All the cabinets have them on and all the doors have the trims as well. And from here, this is the view you get of the living dining room and kitchen.
It's almost done now.
Look, how cool. When everything is finished up there, oh my, it's going to look amazing. Look at how this looks. It's wonderful.
It looks.
Should I leave the red one?
It looks like a club.
Ha ha ha.
This is the minimum before I set it to 3.
One more, I think at 2 it's already fine. Look, how beautiful it will be when everything is lit up. It'll look amazing. So the things we brought were these tiles that are for the laundry room. And the thing is, the laundry room is the only area where the floor wasn't finished. To fix this wall, where we need to put the slats, which we also brought, and the baseboards, which we had to remove because of the doors, since we added moldings to the doors. So we had to remove some pieces of baseboard, so we'll add those back in. Notice that we've already cleared the floor area, we just have this part left here. This laundry room has gotten about 3 or 4 times bigger, right, Dad? After we took everything out. But look over here and over here where the closet was. By the way, we're going to have to paint this wall, because look at all the dampness there is. Well, first we'll clean it, we'll use some bleach, get rid of all this mold, and then a little paint. But let's start with the floor. We're going to align it, let's say, with the tiles that are already inside the kitchen. My father is finishing the section he started while we set these 2 in place. As he makes mortar, I lay the bricks and we alternate tasks. Now it's ready. This part is done. We just have these tiles left, but this is blocking us, and when we try to put the mortar, it barely fits. So, we're going to finish placing that piece, a little bit that's missing over there, and that's it. We'll leave it like this for today. Well, my dad is removing all this glue that was here.
It's really hard.
Really?
Now maybe we need to look for a plan B because
Oh, well, it's just that this job is really tough.
this job is really good.
Yes, it works really well. Well, look. It tore off part of the wall when we removed it, but we're not going to fix it because we're going to put not that piece of wall, but from there to here. Okay, so I've already scraped that part, and what I'm going to put there, I don't know if you remember, but it's this right here, which are some decorative panels from Credicor. They're really beautiful, they give an amazing finish, and they give the wall such a lovely texture. I chose them in this white color and this thickness, which is about 1 centimeter, so I can paint them later, although I'll probably leave them white because I like them white, but they're white in case you want to paint them any color. These designs come in various colors, like wood with black or all wood, and the slats can be narrower or wider. Honestly, there's a lot of variety, and I'm sure we can find the one that best fits our style. It looks like wood, but it's actually not. It's high-density polyethylene. They're perfect because they handle moisture really well. You can put them in humid areas without any problem, for example in bathrooms or kitchens. They also have a sound reduction effect and cancel out echoes. But in the end, since I wanted to add a wood tone with other objects, I think that using white and putting something on top would also look really nice. First, I'm going to check the height they need to be at. Let's see, I have to cut the slats, because I already cut them last time, but since we've added the recess, basically I have to cut them again. Here it shows me that they're 242.5. Time to cut them. The finish doesn't look bad. There are these here, which are some mini finishing panels. So you place one right at the beginning and the other at the end, and you get a better finish both at the start and at the end of the panels. It looks like this, nice and squared. Otherwise you would see this thin edge at the end. But instead, it will look like the panel is whole and ends right here, with this little strip. The glue I'm going to use to stick them is this one right here. Okay, look how this turned out. It looks really cool. Oh, how pretty, right up to the edge of the switch. It looks really nice. I didn't know how this part here, the top and bottom, was going to look, but I like it. I think it looks really, really cool. I'm making a trim piece to fit right here, so it will go around this area. I'm making it to size so that when it's put in place, it'll be completely hidden. First, I'm going to cut the long piece. Now let's get the piece we're missing, and what we're going to do is exactly the same as before. Place it where it's going to go. Now theoretically this one goes here. Okay, perfect. We'll cut the one below first, then the one above. I'll cut it so the ugly part is on the bottom and the nice part is on top. I've cut it to size. Let's see how it turned out. This is the most important moment. And now, in theory, I've created a lid here that I've glued on and everything, and I've made it exactly to size, and that's how it fits. I've tried to fit it as tightly as possible, but, well, it's inevitable that you can see the cut, because of course it's not the same to see it whole as to see that little piece here. But then I was talking to my dad, and what we'll do is put a little acrylic putty on it so it's not visible. We'll put on some acrylic putty, and then it will be much more concealed. It has to go like that no matter what, because we need to access the light. Well, when we need to access it, we can't leave it covered. If we didn't put anything, look how it would be. It would be all whole in that hole there, just an empty space. I filed it down a little so it would fit better here, right where the lights are, the frame or the elements. I filed it a bit, and now we can fit it in. This is the second to last piece. Well, the second to last because it's missing the one that acts as a trim, let's say. And in the end, I was cutting it with, I cut one actually. Well, there's no more glue left. We've used 2 bottles. I started cutting with the saw, but switched to the utility knife because the saw made it too crooked, so I gave up. I used the utility knife to cut and fit it, and it turned out perfect. Well, and this looks this beautiful except for the finishing touches, which I guess you've noticed that there are some areas, for example, this line here, that shows up a little darker than the rest. And since the wall isn't completely straight, I'll fix that with a bit of finishing, a little acrylic putty, boom, and that's it. Everything will be covered and it'll look perfect. When the grout is applied, it's going to look amazing. It creates a sense of uniformity, making the laundry room feel like part of the larger kitchen space. Okay, the next step is painting the laundry room. My dad finished the piece and it's over there drying. And I'm gonna paint it with this Duracolor paint Plastidur. We had used it before and it makes a spotless white. Look at how white it is. So let's paint some of the walls in the laundry room.
Hi, how are you?
Well, I have to remove all the little pieces we put in yesterday. Now I have to assemble a piece of furniture, which is the one that's going to go there in the laundry room. Oh wow, it got tangled. What happened? Oh, there are 2 of them. This duster has so many feathers. Let's separate cleaning supplies from construction materials. Look, you can already see it coming out. Beautiful. There are still several improvements to make though. But anyway, let's move the washing machine a little bit. Okay, I have everything more or less lined up. I pour this on and go like this. And look how clean it gets, wow. I bought it for the shower screen, but I also like it. I think it cost me €5 at Teddy too. Now only the doors are left. It had this reinforcement here, one door and the other. Honestly, this color is pretty, but I wanted to paint it to match. But not for this summer, I won't have time. For this year, haha. For this summer, 2024, I won't have time, but for the complete renovation, I will have time to paint it. After thinking it over a few times, in the end it's going to go in that area over there. Honestly, I didn't like having to go in and open the door blocking the way. It just seemed a bit weird to me. So, this piece of furniture replaces the other one. Ideally, I would paint the furniture and cover all of that, but like I said, for this summer it's going to stay like this, with the countertop on of course, and I'll take care of covering all this later. I'm cleaning the glass, and what we're going to do is put this transparent paper on it that acts as a privacy screen. Clean. The thing is whether I cut it to size or if I stick it on first and then use a cutter to trim it. There are small squares on the back so you can cut it to size. Honestly, I think it's going to be easier for me to stick it on like this. Okay, we'll cut it more or less around here and it'll be easier for us to work with. Okay, and it looks like this. You guys saw just a couple of minutes, but for me it took quite a while. I removed and replaced it to have extra on all sides. Now I'll use the cutter to trim it to size. And after cutting it and pressing it down with a cloth, this is how it looks. Honestly, it turned out really well. I have the paints that Duracolor sent me. I ordered 3 colors, which I'll show you, and what I'm going to do is paint the entire floor. I think it makes the most sense to paint before assembling all the rooms and putting everything together. I bought this wallpaper, well actually 2 wallpapers. One that's kind of like little flowers, kind of like a little tree, and the other one is this one here. You can kind of imagine it, it makes a leaf shape and they're a little bit raised like in relief. I want this one for that area over there. This area here. At first I was just going to paint it white and that was it. I wasn't going to do anything else, but I realized there's a big problem. The problem here is that since the trash is so close, and the coffee maker also stains the wall. And look, it hasn't even been painted for a year. Well, actually just a few months and there are already big stains. So just imagine if we've made these stains ourselves, imagine if it was a rental. So I think with this wallpaper we'll be able to avoid that. Although actually it's not vinyl wallpaper, so vinyl wallpaper is much easier to clean than regular wallpaper, but the stains aren't constant, so I don't think there will be a problem with the wallpaper getting damaged in the end. I think the artificial cherry tree will go in the entryway. It feels like something is missing here. This is where I was going to put the wallpaper, I think. I have the first color here, which is kind of a shade. Well, they're all very pastel, you know? None of them are very bold. This is a more pinkish shade. I don't know if it will show up on camera to make it clearer. We'll compare it to the previous white one. Notice the difference in tone between the white one and this one, which is kind of pinkish. And the other color that has a tone is more beige, we could say. I don't know if the difference will show up on camera. I can see it in person, but on camera it's going to be a bit tricky. I'm certain the ceiling will be white. I've noticed that there's an area here with quite a few scratches. I don't know when it happened, but... Well, yes, actually I do know, haha. Many times we've done a few tricks here. So I'm going to finish up this part here at the entrance before I go buy a paint tray. You might be wondering why I'm going to paint the recessed area if I'm going to cover it up later. Because I don't know if I've explained it on this channel or on Ivan's vlog channel, but I want to cover the whole recessed area with wood, or rather a wood effect wallpaper. Well, more like vinyl wallpaper that looks like wood. The thing is, I'm going to paint it basically because I don't know if I'll be able to find this wallpaper. That's the first thing. That matches with the kitchen. Second, if I ever get tired and remove it, it's already painted. It looks absolutely amazing with the ceiling painted, doesn't it? I'll show you from here since you can really see the difference. Once the recessed lighting is in, it'll look even better. But just look at the painted ceiling. What a change. I can hardly believe it. Well, this is really starting to look amazing. Honestly, it's turning out so beautiful. Let's see it from the other side. Look at this wonderful recessed lighting. Oh, it's so cool. Let's see how the light looks now. Oops, that's not it. I still get confused with the lights. No, not this one. This is it. Oh, the flickering again, for goodness sake. Oh my, when all of this is... Oops, I'm going to end up breaking something. When all of this is lit up, it's going to look amazing. Well, it's just that it looks, I don't know how to say it. It looks like there's no background. I mean, I don't know. It just looks so cool. I'm not sure if it will look the same on camera, but it looks amazing in person. I mean, it didn't look as pretty when it still wasn't painted. There's still more to do. I need to finish painting this wall and the recessed area, so I have a lot left. Well, after giving a second coat to some areas that didn't turn out quite right, this is how it looks. Well, there are still a few things left, you know? If you look closely, I haven't painted the inside. I could have, but didn't. I'll do it tomorrow since you can't really see in there. It's just that my grandmother has to sleep in that room over there, along with Pluto, and all the stuff is in the way. So before they arrive, I'm going to get to work on this bedroom, because if I don't, my grandmother won't fit in here.
Oh, this part turned out so pretty.
What do you think, Grandma?
Very good.
Is it pretty?
It looks very pretty.
Look at Pluto.